4. This is Teacher Mark. Our lesson for today is all about life cycle of plants and its environment. So, we have two kinds of life cycle. One is flowering plants and non-flowering plants. In flowering plants, there is seedling stage, vegetative stage, and flowering stage. While in non-flowering plants has Ga- gamete, gametophyte, gametophyte stage, adult stage. Plant life cycle. The stage in the development and growth of the plant, flowering stage. In the in flowering stage, flowering plants pollination makes fertilization happen when the eggs are fertilized. They start to grow into seeds. Pollination. Pollination is the act of transferring pollen grains from the male anther of the flower to the female stigma. Next, so this is plant life cycle. This flowering plants. So as you may see, uh, these are the diagram that we need to know more about this plant cycle. Okay, seed stage. What this is the first stage. First, the plant life cycle begins with the seeds. In some species of the plants, the embryo can only grow so large within the seed. As the seed matures, the water content decreases and the seed becomes dry, and the embryo inside the seeds is sleeping and must wait until its condition. Next stage, seedling stage. So seedling stage. Seed germinate when certain conditions are met. Germination is the time when a plant starts to grow from seed. Seedling is also called immature plant. The embryo is the tiny plant inside the seed. It is divided into three parts. One is radical. So radical, epicotyl, and hypocotyl. So radical, it is the first structure to develop from germinating seed. Epicotyl, it is the stem and leaves of new plant. It is also known as plumule. Next, hypocotyl, it connects epicotyl and radical. Cotyledon, it serves the food provider for the plant. As you may see in the picture, so this is the cotyledon, the radical, the epicotyl, and the stem there, it's connect epicotyl and radical is what you call hypocotyl. Vegetative stage. What is vegetative stage? The plant grows rapidly and starts to sprout. With its full-grown leaves, it is ready for photosynthesis or making its own food. The plant gets larger by producing new cells at tips of its roots and stem. So these are the example of vegetative stage. So the eggplant, the mangoes, and the tomatoes. Next, the last stage is flowering stage. What is flowering stage where the plant tries to reproduce and make more plants into flowering stage. Pollination takes place through the help of pollinator. So pollinators, these are the agent of pollinators. What I've said in the last lesson that there is an agent of pollinators. Bees and butterfly, wind, humans, water, and adult animals. When these seeds fall to the ground, the plant life cycle begins again. So these are an example of flowering stage. The plants has or have flowers. Next, factors affecting seed germination. Germination is the sprout of seed after a period of sleeping or dormancy. Water needed since dry seeds do not germinate. Next, temperature. Extremely low temperature are not favorable condition for seed germination. Soil. During growth, seeds require minerals which are mostly obtained from soil. Next is oxygen. Seed will not germinate in saturated soil. They also need to breathe. And lastly, the light. Seeds needs light to break dormancy, while others need light more in the later stages of the life cycle of plants. So as you can see in the diagram, this is the sunlight, the oxygen, the temperature itself, and the water in the soil. So those are the factors that affect the seed germination. Okay? Next, so another part is the plant life cycle of non-flowering plants. As you may see in the chart, there's a spore, the gameotype, gametophyte, and then this is a adult stage. Yes. So gametophyte stage, spores are produced on underside of the mature plant. It germinates and grows into small heart-shaped structure. So as you may see, this is an example of the fern. Okay, so the fern, there is a heart shape there, and as you may see, there is a structure that heart shaped structure and small things. Then it can produce the spores. So this is for fern. Okay, next, adult stage. Adult stage, after the spores are making up, the spores are dispersed by wind and water, and if conditions are right, the life cycle will begin again for most spore producing plant. Plenty of water is the best condition. So you may see this is the mosses and this is a fern. So effects of environment on a plant life. So all seed needs a certain temperature in order to germinate. Seed that grow in colder climates do not germinate until spring. Seeds also need water. In a tropical rainforest, plants will need much higher temperature and moisture to germinate than those which grow in colder and drier climate. And lastly, seed needs oxygen. When a seed coat opens, more oxygen can reach the cells of the embryo and the cells get larger. Remember, in flowering plants, the plant cycle begins with seed. The change in plant life cycle of flowering plants are the following: seed, seedling, vegetative, and flowering stage. And some plants like non-flowering use spores to grow another plant. For that, thank you and hope you enjoy our video.